The survival map can be incredibly diverse. Do you prioritize resources, safety, or maybe beautiful scenery? Turns out this can be a really complicated problem. Worry not though, because today I'll show you 5 best spots for a base in Scrap Mechanic Survival. Enjoy! When you're choosing a place to call home, a ruined building is probably not quite the first thing that comes to mind. After all, these are all infested with blood-craving farm bots. Surely that's not a safe home environment, is it? Well, you'd be surprised. Thanks to the walls of these ruins being part of the terrain, they are completely indestructible, meaning that no bots will be able to break in. And because the ruins are pretty much everywhere, you can settle down right after starting a fresh survival world, without any issues. Meaning you essentially get an indestructible base for free. You might say that I'm crazy because there are tons of enemies spawning in there. However, that's an easily solvable problem. If you build over the spawn spots for the bots, they should not be able to spawn there anymore. And with some extra creativity, you could even turn this into a farm that generates you a bit of scrap metal and component kits. Speaking of which, ruins also contain a bunch of loot crates. You can detect them with a sensor and break them with a spot gun, meaning you can make a simple contraption that collects their loot automatically with a vacuum pipe. Obviously though, this probably isn't an ideal spot for a farm, because you can't play solo on terrain assets, and not many ruins generate next to water. Well, there is actually a perfect spot for making a farm that generates in the same place in every single world. I'm talking of course about the Haystack Maze. It provides great natural defense for even the harshest of raids, with very minimal help from the player. Because of how predictable the raid spawns are here, you can have it not be just a plant farm, but also a raid farm. And because of the way Scrap Mechanic works, by planting stuff in the middle you will actually get 4 raids at once, which means 4 times the resources from the bots. You will never be short on component kits again. On top of all that, the square middle helps a lot with engineering an automatic planting system. Okay, but how do you get water in here? You can just make an underground connection to the nearest pond of water and vacuum the water there. It sounds complicated, but trust me, it's really simple, and once you set it up, you never have to touch it again. Plus, it's fully protected from bots. This is actually what I did in my own survival world. Oh, what's that? You want to have your home and the farm in the same spot? Well then this is the option right for you. Introducing the Peninsula base. If you go along the edge of a body of water, you should find plenty of small peninsulas such as this one. It's perfect for a base and a farm, as it's just the right size for a farm, will only trigger 1 raid timer, has water right on the spot, and on top of all that, you only have to defend your crops from one side. This is actually a very popular design among Scrap Mechanic YouTubers, such as Scrapman, thanks to its versatility and the ability to build pretty much anywhere on the map, as the formation is very common. Keep in mind however that this kind of base can get quite laggy, but hopefully upcoming updates to the game will fix this issue. Let's also not forget the good old reliable, the mechanic station. No matter what way you look at it, it's just a prime spot for a base. A free bed, endless crafting stations, complete safety from outside dangers thanks to indestructible walls, easy to find with the logbook, it's close to key points the world's just the trader, and it generates near water. Sure, the mechanic station base can be really cliche and boring, but come on, you cannot deny how good it is logistically speaking. And you get it on your very first day in the world as well. If it's not the choice for you, it can still be an amazing temporary base until you set up shop somewhere more interesting. Okay, I hear you. You love your gas-hungry vehicles and aim oil diving. Okay, may I present to you the desert base. You see, the desert tile that contains the oil pond actually has this small but very steep hill. This means you can create a farm here and get not just easy to defend crops, but also become the biggest oil industry in the world. And all that with minimal risk and effort. You can also make a nice watchtower to snipe your enemies from afar, just a small bit of inspiration. Also, unless you're a huge builder, I'd say a chemical version of this base isn't quite as good as you cannot really farm there, and you use way more gas than chemicals in survival mode. So, where are you gonna build your next base? Let me know down in the comments, and I hope to see you in another video.